by telling you guys stuff about shop ownership, then later you're gonna get to see some of the cool activity inside of the shop here. Matthias is a real adult. I'm a 12-year-old adult. Watch your V8.
That's from
your V8. This subframe is out of a JDM car. It's a little rusted. We're gonna clean that shit up.
It's not like there's nice cars sitting right here or anything. For a 2J.
By the way, this is Matthias. I think you guys have met him many times.
What's up, guys?
But here he is again. He has a shop in Norway, Race Supply of Norway. We're seriously gonna talk to you about our own race shop experiences and our opinions, and maybe if you guys are thinking of starting a shop yourself. We've got the privilege of working together through Simon's program multiple times, and then we ended up doing like parts together, selling stuff to each other through the businesses.
Every tool's a little different, and it's inches and gallons and ounces, and it's hard to translate everything.
It's quite a lot of fun. In this video, we're gonna first start out by telling you guys stuff about shop ownership, then later you're gonna get to see some of the cool activity inside the shop here. You know, what makes owning a shop worth it and so much fun. I was gonna ask some shop questions, and then also we wanted to give, maybe you guys are thinking of starting a shop or working at one, so 2 points of advice for someone wanting to start a shop, or if you're maybe the tech guy or the fab guy wanting to work at a shop. And these are just gonna go off of like our basic opinion or our life experiences while running a shop. Before I get to the 2 points, I wanted to ask Matthias, like, what made you start a shop?
A shop has always been my dream to have like my own shop. I have been doing drifting myself for quite a bit years.
Building your own car? Probably.
Building my own cars, drifting the cars, just for fun basically, but some few competitions.
Yeah.
And those years with driving made me possible to learn how to.
Because you had to make your car work, and then you saw what broke, you fix it, which,
yes.
And then you got better and better, and then this is a guess, or I've kind of overheard you talk, that then later, people see his car's reliable and it's working and it maybe looks good how you built it. Hey Matthias, build this for me, and then it just escalates to having a shop.
Yes, that's a part of the thing, yeah. I also have, what does look good normally works good, in my opinion. And if a car looks great, it normally performs great as well.
That's true. Simple and good, yeah.
Yeah.
Same with me. Like if you guys are wanting to hear my answer, like what made me start a shop, it was like I wanted to take a car to the track, but then kind of knew mechanical stuff from working on stuff throughout my whole life. Like anything I owned, I was working on, taking apart, fixing. So then when it was like time to build a car with like fab stuff, I did have to learn how to weld, and I did have to learn some extra stuff, and I did it all in my garage. And then I did an engine swap in my garage, and then I was at the track and people were like, how'd you do that? And then eventually they're asking you to do stuff for them, and eventually you're needing like more space in your driveway. You have to rent a building or a space inside someone else's shop or whatever it may be, and then buy tools, and then it just happens over time. And then part of the reason I got real serious is I really wanted to do FD desperately, and I didn't have the money to just fund it, and I didn't have a job that would have paid to fund it. So then like I kind of weighed it out. I was like, if I had the right tools to build my own car, I could charge to build the other, and it somehow worked out. And here we are later, like 10 years later, still working out.
Yeah. Oh, it's basically the same for me. I didn't do any competitions like FD, but every competition in the world gives me inspiration for doing what I love to do. When I finally got my own shop, everything was like the thing I was missing in my life. It's now complete.
Was the shop? Oh, so
yes.
The shop is your answer, yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I have seen YouTubes, everything all over the world too.
So you saw YouTube?
So, yeah, I have seen a lot of stuff on YouTube and thought about why can't we run a shop like they do in America, in Norway.
Oh, because there's not many.
No, there's very few shops in Norway. Basically, like a lot of dogs are around.
Yeah, we got a couple dogs here, guys. Don't mind the dogs.
Yeah, America is like, you see everything in America. because
Okay.
it's so big. And the car community in America is way bigger than the rest of the world, I guess.
Well, okay, I live in America, so I don't know exactly, but I guess he's right.
In Norway, the community is quite small.
Okay.
That's make it more difficult to run a shop that actually
Wendy, get out of here.
make race cars and race car parts, because all the people buying are very limited.
You've done that though. I've seen his work where the FT cars he built for Simon, very like
I try my best.
high-end builds. They're really good and it functions good, it performs good. It's not having issues or anything. Good job.
Thank you, Dan.
I wanted to ask on this topic with a shop. Owning a shop is difficult. It seems like not everyone,
It's not
but
just a normal workplace.
No.
It's kind of lifestyle, because you have to offer so much of your rest of life to run that shop and make it happen.
it's not as easy as maybe, you know, if you opened a restaurant. I don't know what that seems really hard for me
Yeah,
because I don't
that's
have
probably
that skill.
hard, even harder to
But
run a
like, what
restaurant.
if you opened some type of business that was very like, had one or two things that's all they did. But when I'm saying it's hard to run a shop, it's because it's like, at the beginning, you would have to have a skill set of probably being a mechanical type person where you could, you know, pull a transmission and do a clutch, but then you also have to know how to fabricate, then you also know how to talk to the customer, you also know how have to build a customer, also have to kind of keep your word on what you said you would do in a timeline, and manage an employee, pay the bills. There's just a lot that goes into it.
It
a
is.
lot, and it consumes you.
Normal sick day when you are normal work is not the same when
Yeah.
you run a own shop. You can't just
Have a sick day. Or
sick day
two
is
or
hard
three,
because
yeah.
everything stops when you are not at work. Of course, if you have a lot of employees, that
Yeah.
will be different. But it's difficult and hard to have like a race shop with a lot of employees. That's
Yeah.
very few people
Very
manage
few
to-
of them out there
Yes.
too, yeah. Like successful large race shops. You have to have a lot of expensive equipment to be able to produce a race car, or
Yes.
like a quality one. And then it so far is outweighed by the profit margin. Maybe later, once you had all the tools paid off.
You never have all those
Yeah, because
tools.
there's always new tools.
Yes.
Yeah.
You always need to.
It's a difficult business to
Yeah.
run. But
It's
there's-
still fun.
It's still
And that's
fun if
the
you
thing.
like cars and you like building and you're still interested in like what your hands are touching.
Yep.
It'll continue on, and you know, because it's your passion and you'll enjoy it, and it'll be decades of business. And if it's
Without passion, it's
it
not
would
a
be
point to
the
do
hardest
it at all.
business. Yeah.
But you have those days that is hard. Everyone has those days. We also do that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask one of the questions, what has been the hardest part of running your shop? Maybe that's not a one type answer, maybe you do have an answer.
You do have to turn your life around a lot,
Yeah,
because when you are like an employee,
yeah.
you can go to work like 9 a.m. and you go back
Shut off.
home
Go
at
home and
4
shut off
p.m.
and don't think about it.
Don't think of anything except that you have to wake up the next day and go to the same work.
Yeah.
That's not possible when you have your own shop, because after 4 it still goes, and that's one of the problems.
I have the same problem, and I'd say keeping an employee that you've trained from like literally nothing of the car world, and you trained them up, and they're like learning all your skills, and then they leave you, and you're just like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
And that's the hardest part, I think, on my end. The other part, I don't mind giving all the hours to the business. That seemed fun for me, or I'm like
I don't know.
into it enough to like answer questions late at night when I shouldn't be, probably.
That's also a problem for me in Europe, because I have a lot of dealing with America,
Yeah.
and the time difference is huge. So, like California, we have 9 hours difference from Norway, and when I go to work at 4 p.m., Americans wake up, and then my day will continue
Oh,
through the night, because then the
Frustrating.
other part of the world will
I
be
have-
alive.
I have like a customer in Dubai that'll try and wake me up quite, it's another shop, and they'll wake me up quite frequently. I'm like, but then it helps you stay
think
in
it's-
business because they're buying parts, and it's like, can't get mad, it's just part of it. 2 points of advice for someone wanting to start a shop.
You have to be absolutely sure that you want to,
Devote.
yeah, like to have your own shop, because it's not what it looks like on TV and on YouTube. it's so different from reality.
Very true. You might see like a finished race car. Let's say you're watching YouTube or TV, or you're just watching a team that shows up at the track.
Yep.
But they probably trudged through like some trenches of mud to like, that's a like way of me thinking it, like just keep pushing, you know, through the hardest conditions, because you might have stayed up till 2 in the morning, woken up at 6 in the morning for 3 weeks straight to accomplish whatever it was, to get the engine ready, the parts communicating with each other properly, how the systems need to show up to the drag strip, the like drift track, the racetrack, to make sure your car performs how you want. And you probably didn't see all that. You didn't see all the stress and the fights that the guy had with his girlfriend or wife when he gets home, or didn't see his kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Max his credit card out, because all those things, they all happen. And then it's like,
I would say,
why do we do this to ourselves?
if you're thinking of starting your own shop, think about it, give it like a half year, maybe a year, and if you still want to start a shop, do it.
Yeah, so that's his opinion. I would say something similar to that, or start where you don't have to add a new build to your life. Like start in your parents' garage, your own garage, and see if you can do like very minute little side job things and sample how that goes. Because if that doesn't go well, it's gonna be a disaster when you start renting a building and you have to pay that rent. You should have insurance. You should have like a legit business license, registered with the city that you're in, all the things, which some people might not do that, but you should be doing that. We do that. A lot more into it than you think about. Maybe that would help you guys. And if you're going to work for a shop, don't just show up and say, hey, I like cars, I really want to learn, like, can I get paid? Technically, the guy hiring you, like me or him, we would want you to have a previous skill set. We don't want to sit there and train you. We want you to show up and be like, I have this many hours welding and this is what I've built. Here's my portfolio of pictures of random stuff you built or whatever. And then maybe you could transfer that skill into cars, or maybe it was a previous car shop you worked, I don't know. Because I get tons of that. I want to work for you, but it's like I can't hire someone with no skill set, because then I have to stop what I was doing to create money, to pay the bills, to then teach you how to learn, and it will take like, it literally takes years to get like a great, like,
there are so many categories you have to handle.
So many categories, yeah. But what are the highlights of owning a shop? Because some of that might sound negative. We're not trying to be negative. There's tons of highlights.
One of the highlights will be the freedom.
Yeah.
To kind of
whatever you want to
control your day.
Yeah.
You can basically do what you like through the day, and if you really want this and really enjoying this, it's the perfect life for you.
Yeah.
To get up in the morning, go to work, and work with something you really love. And that's what's motivating me a lot.
That motivates me as well. I absolutely love when there's a part that like filled a void, and you come up with a part that answers the failing parts question, and there's like this one part that keeps failing on, you know, whatever car it is. There's tons of those answers out there and solutions out there, and when you get to be the one that creates this answer and solution for that, and then sell it to the people and make that, like, literally puts a smile on their face, and they don't have to mess with their car because now it's reliable in that one given area. I absolutely love that part, and I have been able to do that on a couple things. That part makes me super excited, just as like when you fire up the engine for the first time, or the fresh build or whatever.
It's a special feeling, for sure.
And if your building's big enough, you can do burnouts inside. That is another really cool.
I need to expand back in Norway because I have too many machines.
But then machines, you can make more parts.
Yeah, but you can't do drifting in the shop, and that's a problem. So we have to figure out something when I get back to Norway to expand, like maybe a small racetrack inside the shop. Just a tiny one.
A tiny little racetrack in the shop.
That would be cool.
That was like the down and dirty, quick shop talk, because I think with me and him here feeding off each other, I feel like we could talk for an hour, and it probably wouldn't be boring to us. I don't know if it's boring to you. Maybe you guys want to hear more about that, but we wanted to include some of the stuff we're doing in the shop. So the rest of this video, you'll get to see some of the activity of me, Matthias, Jan is here, Klein's here, and of like kind of what's taking place in the shop, and some of the dumb stuff we're also gonna have fun doing while they're here.
It's not dumb stuff, it's only cool stuff.
Yeah, it's only cool stuff. All right, let's go do that, guys. Good day, everyone. Welcome back. We have Norwegians here.
Norway.
You guys were playing on pit bikes. You're done?
No, we just have a break.
Oh, they're on break. We got Klein Barfield here.
That's me, Calvin Klein.
Wait, don't look at that. Don't look at that. Maybe you guys are allowed to see that.
Nothing to see there.
That's a work in progress. That thing's all smiles when you drive it. Oh, you can't hear, but that's warming up. We got a cleared out section here, and I can hear a V8 running. What's that mean?
I don't know.
What's that mean?
Only in America.
Do you drift?
I'm too old. I'm way too old.
I'm older than you. Do you drift?
He's famous for one-hand drifts.
Oh, okay.
I brought you your V8.
That's for me.
your V8.
That's where it started for me when I was a child. So hey, I hear you can drive a ZF Trans with a TJ, right? Okay, go jump in and show me.
No.
Don't hit a tree.
I can't make a fool of myself.
Film this then.
National television.
I'm gonna chase down a Corvette. It's your turn. I warmed it up for you. He's dangerous and he wears safety glasses,
I
kids.
think he needs like some knuckles or something.
Yeah, he doesn't have a handbrake. He doesn't have angle kit. Your turn. This is ZF, so you know where reverse is. It's got a lot of PSI in the tires. How safe is? I mean, Norwegians are respectful and safe. He even asked for a safety belt. Matthias is a real adult. He's a real adult. I'm a 12-year-old adult. I don't know if you guys saw, but he just ran over my hose. Okay. He's a natural! This guy's a natural! That's a lot of dirt, but I mean, for his first go-round, he's doing good. I like it. Are you happier now?
Are we out of tires?
We were out when we started.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to drift in front of your shop, you know? He likes to hug the inside, I've noticed. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed it.
So it has become that time in the day where Mr. Rad is busy with phone calls and emails. And we're not so busy over here with all of the toys. That's awesome to watch.
I was like, we're gonna crash.
On a comparison to 1 to 10, how much fun is that and how close is it to a real car?
Oh, it's not a 10. It's probably like a 6 or 7. When you get locked in and the timing's right, maybe an 8. That was fun.
Hell yeah, guys.
He's picking like last minute changes. Adults at play. We need a sign. Look at that, he's locked in. We have like every childhood toy that we all wanted when we were 12. Yeah, we're 12 still, right?
It's a long time since you were 12.
I feel like I'm still 12. Look at that. Matthias has got some seat time in those things. Wait till there's 2 of these babies, guys. That'll be a blast, because we'll be doing that with 2 carts. Neighbors probably won't love me as much, but just what's gonna happen then?
That's
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Now you gotta try the drift car.
We're also gonna do work on Simon's car.
Well, I mean,
I promise.
yeah,
I promise.
I know. I know you will. Oh, Backy. Not every day that you do that. The kids from Norway. The children of Norway have stripped it down to nothing. And they're gonna just get rid of this as scrap metal, right guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scrap metal.
That's why it's out here. All right.
Alrighty.
You guys will figure out everything what to do, I think. It's just interesting, so I wanted to film it. That's off right now. That's pretty cool. Should have got it going through the door. That was the more exciting part, huh? So today's a decent day for us. We got some lifts. Klein ran over to Melbourne, Florida, picked these up. They're Advantage lifts. The red one's a 12,000 pound 2-post lift. That could lift cars, and also this guy and other trucks or whatever I would need to lift. These other 2 sections are part of a side-by-side lift. See how they say side-by-side? 4-post lift, but it holds 2 cars, so it's 2 cars on it, 2 cars under it, and it's gonna go over there. Now we're gonna try the sketchy of sketchy.
The sketchy of sketchy. I think it'll work.
Think it won't be that bad?
No, I think it's gonna work great. Go up a little bit. Oh yes. Perfect. It's not like there's nice cars sitting right here or anything. Or a 2J. This is not sketchy.
Yeah, pussy. This is actually sketchy.
No, it's not. You're fine.
I think it weighs like 2,200.
Look at that.
Okay, so good question is, since none of us have assembled one of these, which end has that, you know, all the hydraulic
that's the motor.
I know. Well, I know that, but
Okay.
which end does it go? Where does it go? And if we set it down, we're gonna let's just set it down and go from there.
All right. You seem more calm when you're driving your race car.
Yeah, not that worried when I'm driving the race car.
Nice.
You did it!
You did it.
All right, guys, we'll be back. We gotta do a couple more of these.
What is up?
What's up? Look at all the work we did, guys. Matthias showed up for the fun part. We had a little time lapse as we were tearing this stuff down. Look at that, guys. We are set up. Got our little cubby hole of stuff, parts, more parts and stuff over there, inventory of things when we're building stuff. We have eliminated completely that obnoxious shelf here that had all the boxes. It's way over there on that like mini pallet rack. Those assholes. So we put all this effort into this effort so that we could rip the crazy car track. And we have it even like set up even better than before because there's more space for air there. We threw out that other table and now we have 2 smaller tables here. And then they jump on the carts without me. We probably need 1 more cart is what it just came down to. We need a 4th cart. update for today. Still making progress in the shop. I'm wearing some weird European pants. What do you guys think? Look at that, custom. Does it look familiar? Everybody likes Snickers, right? Yeah, well that's the name of these pants, Snickers. Snickers. And my friends here in Norway, they bought me a pair, and I never wore them for a year. A year.
When did we buy them?
2022 at the very beginning, so they might have even been purchased in 2021. Then they had them sent out to the factory, custom engraved, or I don't know how he did that. Cool pants, trying them out today. So far I've been putting them to good use. Check this out. Yeah, we're going to Subway for lunch. Kept my coupons in that pocket. We're also trying to install the lift. We got a lift expert here, his name's Brian. He's gonna throw it together way quicker than we'd be able to sit there and put stuff in upside down and backwards and then take it back apart and then redo it. He'll just slam it together and then leave. Hey Brian, I'm filming you.
What's going on, guys?
He said, what's up? All right, we're going to Subway. So right now, still got the dude over there installing a lift. We are now finally working on subframes. That's a Supra subframe Mark IV with all the brackets to hold a winter's diff in it. There's a couple ways to do this. This is how I like to do it. 2 more subframes from Supras right here, ready to be built, and I've cut the back out. We just cleaned up and deburred basically on these plates. These are the center pieces, these are the sides, that's the front. Still got one more little thing I gotta build. We gotta make a bunch of base plates, so I started making base plates for 3 diffs worth there. I'm gonna use this plate here to make a little bit more. This subframe is out of a JDM car. It's a little rusted, but we're gonna clean that shit up, sandblast it, it'll be fine. No worries. Next up, we're gonna fit stuff right now just to make the last plate, then we gotta yank that subframe off again. The last plates that we make, I can use this one as an example. So we use these plates that I make, just get them water jetted. We gotta connect from here to there. So what I like to do is, this had a rubber bushing, so there's no way I could have left it longer on either side. You cut right next to like where the stock bushing would go. So you have to lengthen this by piece of you know, plate, which I've shown you guys the plate up there. So we make a little template. I had a template, but it's not quite big enough, so I'm gonna trim this down. I haven't finished making it, but I'm gonna trim it somewhere here, and then we'll bend it in the brake to create these pieces. And so we're gonna need 6 of those. Then we also have to create 6 of these triangles, because that's another base plate where the tube lands up top, which is up here. And by doing that, you're strengthening enough so that you don't ever have issues. I've never had an issue with these subframes. The one that's in my car right now has been in there 3 years of derby drift racing. See, I also put a tube right there. So it has a tube here, a tube there, and a tube there. So it's like a little mini roll cage holding the winters. All right, so that's what we're doing. Gonna teach Klein a little bit on this stuff. Before I start like any welding, I like to get every single piece made of however many I'm gonna make. And then the hard part, which is a complete absolute biatch, no one likes it, is this, where you are drilling that out, and it is just quite fun. Gonna work on that right now. To make better sense of that, you could see where part of, let me see if I can get the camera up in there. On this side, it's been cut out, so we cut out that much of it and then plate it in, and that is the hardest part. So maybe Klein will work on that a little bit, I'll work on a little bit, and you just gotta go slow and put a bunch of oil so you don't burn the bit up. And meanwhile, while that's happening, the dude over here has the lifts.
Almost
not
up.
Lifts, the 1 2-car 4-post lift. So 2 cars will go on that up in the air and 2 cars will go under it. But that changes the way the shop looks a lot. So he's doing this because that's what this guy does. He's done it for many years. So we were gonna do it, but just pay him a little bit. It's gonna end up just being a little bit better. have the expert do that. We'll do what we know what to do. We're gonna keep working on these and we'll kind of show you more steps along the way. I don't want to give away everything that how I do it, but you kind of can just see it, you know, reverse engineer from looking at it. So kind of just share with you guys what we're gonna do here. Me and Matthias tried to be quick with you guys on that little interview, but then both of us thought of stuff after that. Go ahead, Matthias.
Too late now.
Go ahead. What Matthias wanted to say, and like I was like, oh, you're right. It's that like owning a shop, it literally takes you all over the world in a sense that you're gonna meet Matthias. Dan and Matthias now are good friends, and we wouldn't have if neither of us had a shop. We would just be watching Instagram and YouTube ourselves and be like, that looks cool, but you don't get to know. So I've met so many people because of a shop, and then know of so many other race teams and race shops all over the world. So that's another thing. Meeting people like you guys inside there.
Trooper dog!